So, the Russo brothers just basically broke the internet with one single cryptic countdown. And this isn't just for a movie. No, this is a timer, and it's ticking down to what could very well be the end of the MCU as we know it. So today, we're gonna decode the countdown to Avengers Doomsday.
It all kicked off with this. This countdown just appeared, posted by the Russo brothers with zero comment. And of course, the internet absolutely lost its mind. People did the math, and it all pointed toward a December 2026 release. But here's the thing. While everyone was totally focused on the when, they missed the what. The real secret was hiding in plain sight.
You see, for just a split second, the numbers on the countdown glitched out, and they spelled out a single, incredibly ominous word, Doomsday. Now, this is so much more than a title. It's a declaration, and it's the key to absolutely everything we're about to unpack.
Okay, so let's put on our detective hats and start cracking the production code. Our very first clue is hidden away in a split-second frame from that teaser, a production slate. And trust me, this little thing tells us way more than you'd think.
Now, for anyone who's not familiar, a film slate, the clapperboard, is absolutely crucial on a movie set. It marks the beginning of a take and helps editors sync up all the video and audio later. But for us, today, it's basically a treasure map filled with secrets.
The details here are so revealing. Scene A5 tells us this moment happens right at the very start of the movie. Take 2 kind of implies they needed to get this shot absolutely perfect. Then you see the Russos are directing under their own company, Agbo Films. It's all crystal clear. Whatever happens in this scene is so important that it's the very first thing they wanted to show us.
So why would they tease such an early scene? Well, it connects directly to the biggest theory about that title. See, Doomsday isn't just a metaphor for some multiversal crisis. It is literal. It's signaling the arrival of the man behind it all, the legendary Dr. Doom. This isn't just a Doomsday. It's his day.
Now, the next piece of this puzzle really builds on that idea, but it shifts the focus from the villain to a hero at his absolute breaking point. A leaked teaser has popped up that centers entirely on Thor, and man, he appears to be in a really desperate state sometime after the events of Love and Thunder.
We find Thor in a forest, and he's praying to his father, Odin, in Valhalla. He's actually renouncing his titles, his pride, begging for just one thing, more time. And the line that really hits you hard is his final plea to see his love one last time. But who is he talking about?
The wording is a little ambiguous, sure, but the context is pretty clear. He's not talking about the concept of love. He is talking about a person, specifically Love, his adopted daughter, the superpowered kid of eternity that he took in at the end of Thor, Love and Thunder. It really seems like they've been separated.
And, you really can't talk about Thor's fate without talking about his brother. But this brings us to maybe the most powerful and definitely the most complicated piece of this entire puzzle, Loki, who, by the way, is no longer just the god of mischief, not even close.
At the end of his series, Loki took on this incredible, almost impossible new role. He became the living anchor for the entire multiverse, the god of stories holding infinite timelines together in the shape of a cosmic tree. His one job is literally to prevent the exact kind of collapse that Doomsday is teasing.
And that right there leads to the biggest question that fans are asking. If Loki has this insane amount of power over all of time and space, why in the world would he let the multiverse just fall apart? How could Dr. Doom possibly succeed with Loki standing guard? It feels like a complete contradiction.
Well, the main theory out there suggests a fascinating clash of powers. See, Loki's control is absolute, but it's over time and space. Dr. Doom, on the other hand, is a master of two totally different domains, powerful arcane magic and hyper-advanced science. The theory is that Doom will combine these forces, creating a threat that operates on a plane entirely outside of Loki's control.
So all of this seems to be setting the stage for an incredibly bittersweet reunion. The Thor we see in this film is our original Thor, the one who had to watch Thanos kill his brother. But the Loki he's going to meet? That's the variant from the TVA. This Loki never shared those final moments. He just watched them on a monitor. The emotional weight of that first meeting is going to be absolutely immense.
But all of these intense character moments really point to something much bigger. Doomsday and its sequel, Secret Wars, they're not just about defeating another villain. They're about a fundamental reset for Marvel Studios, one that's going to set the stage for the next decade of stories.
Marvel has done this before. I mean, think about Thor Ragnarok. It was essentially a soft reboot. It kept the same actor and all the history, but completely reset the tone and direction for the character. It really seems like Doomsday is being set up to do the same thing, just on a much, much larger scale. It's a way to resolve things like character fatigue and narrative dead ends, giving legacy heroes a fresh start without erasing their past.
So who are the main candidates for this kind of creative reset? Well, it looks like it's Thor, the Hulk, and Tom Holland's Spider-Man. These are characters with long, complex histories in the MCU, and a massive event like this is the perfect opportunity to give them a clean slate and launch them into a brand new era of storytelling.
Which brings us right back to the heart of this story. Before our original Loki died at the hands of Thanos, he offered his brother this one final piece of hope. It was a promise that, despite all the darkness, they would find their way back to the light. And now, Thor finally has a chance to see a version of his brother again. But with Dr. Doom on the verge of collapsing reality itself and our greatest heroes facing fundamental resets to their very identities, the final question is this: what will be the ultimate price for that promise to finally come true?